never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing. Go.
Hello, hello, guys! Galerinha, mais artista internacional, porque esse show aqui é internacional. It is tea time com o meu amigo Tim. Tim em inglês e Tim em português, né?
Tim, Tim.
Tim, Tim, yeah. E aqui eu vou servir um tea aqui. Não vou dizer pra vocês o que tem nesse bule.
Obrigada.
De nada.
Oh, obrigado.
Ok, não vou colocar no meu porque eu não bebo o líquido que tá nesse bule aqui, né? Vamos lá, meu amigo. Tell something interesting about yourself.
About my art or about myself?
About yourself, about anything you want to talk about it.
All right, well, I'm 40 years old. I've been doing art my whole life. Like literally since I was in preschool, I was doing art. I've traveled around the world a little bit. I'm married to a beautiful Brazilian woman who's your friend, Fernanda. She's the love of my life. I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky in that way.
This is a romantic show? Or
Yeah. Sorry, cut that out. What else? I once hooked up. I took a tequila body shot off Avril Lavigne. That's
that's interesting.
That's a little side note. Okay, so that's a little bit about me.
Cool. Gente, ele é um artista plástico, tá? Depois eu vou mostrar algumas artes que ele já fez. E ele é um artista muito único, que faz as suas próprias artes e cria as suas próprias artes, né? So, Tim, when did you realize you were like a fine artist?
A fine artist? I guess, well, I went through many years of schooling. My mom enrolled me in private lessons when I was 10 years old, and I practiced with a private teacher. I took classes in high school. I took classes in college. I majored in black and white photography, and I went on a year abroad in a London Fine Art School.
Okay.
After that, I went through like 5 years of school in drawing at a museum in New York City, and I worked for some artists as a private helper. I guess when I realized I was a fine artist was during that time, but it came about a couple years ago when I started to actually sell a little bit, and I was like finding some momentum in my sales and being like, come to a realization where you're like, okay, like I'm okay. I'm okay at this, you know? Like, I came to a realization.
I got it.
I'm okay at this, yeah.
I'm
like,
good at it.
And that's the part for many artists that's hard to do, is to come to a self-acceptance and appreciation for your own work. Many artists are way too critical upon themselves.
Yeah, I know that.
Way too critical. So, like, when you can say, like, okay, this is okay. Like, I'm kind of happy with what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
That happened for me a couple years ago when I was like, yeah, you know, like, it's just because you come to a self-realization about like who you are and what the work that you're doing, and it's kind of like a flower that like grows from a seed to a little sprout, and then it gets a couple blooms, and then it goes another season, and then goes another season, gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and like eventually it's like a full blooming flower. So maybe it's because I'm a little bit older, I'm like 40, and like I've had bad years where I didn't sell anything and didn't make anything. Good years where I made some amazing stuff and sold a bunch of stuff. So I feel like I've had enough experience now where like I understand myself and I'm happy with my own work.
That's nice. Alright, let's pour you more drink.
Obrigado.
So, where are you at in your career, your artist career right now? Like you said, like you're 40 years old, so I assume you have like a lot of experience. You went to college for that.
Mm-hmm.
So where are you at right now?
I'm at like a serious like mid-level stage right now. I've got the technical ability. I've got my own style basically developed. I have a little social media following, like 500, 600 followers on different things. I have some sales. I'm in a couple of galleries. I know a little bit more too. Like I know that like some of these things don't work and some of these things work.
Yeah.
And like I have, it's kind of like I have the language down so I can speak well in it.
Yeah, it is interesting that you're saying like you're in the middle of your career and you're 40 years old. So that make everyone there is watching right now excited because they might think like, oh, I'm 40 years old, so I should be like in the top of my career right now. But it's not how it works,
No.
right? The
Yeah.
final artist.
Right, because I mean you hear all these stories about some artists who, a lot of artists don't even share their stuff, or they share too much. But like they go, and then when they're 60, they're like, why don't I show somebody? And like they do it for themselves their whole lives, and then they're like, why don't I show it to somebody? And like then they actually, people are like, wow, that's really good. So like, you know, I feel like for me, I'm comfortable with what I've done so far. So I know that there's more to go, and there's
Yeah.
better places to go. Maybe like more international exhibits and stuff like that. Like I have my work in private collections in like 18 countries worldwide right now. But like if I could get that to like 50 countries or like, you know, and that was through something that I did called Global Tim, where I found a lot of my friends and I would send them my art so that I would like, I want to do like a global project where like I had one of my little birds in countries around the world, like world peace, you know. So like I sent it all over the world. It's in like 18, 19, 20 countries. I don't know right now, but it was a whole lot of fun. But anyway, I know there's a lot more to go,
Yeah.
but I'm happy with what I'm doing
I mean,
so far.
do you think like with social media, like Instagram and all that stuff, like helps you, like put your art out
Yeah.
there, like for someone to see it, or
Definitely.
these like just don't help you and just like it's like
No.
negative?
No, it's a great interconnector. It's like a global cafe. Like I could not find people in Japan who like my artwork. I could not find people in Lithuania. I could not find people in Sao Paulo who like are like, ah, you're great. Like I want that. You know, like it is just it's the network. It's the world these days.
Yeah. So, what is your advice for artists like you to start their career? Like, what should you tell them? Like, it's really important to be a final artist.
Okay. Well, the major thing is to do a lot of work. So there's this story about a professor in college who had half his class try to make the perfect pot for one semester, like a clay pot, and half his class tried to do as many pots as they could for one semester. And the people who tried a couple of pots, like 3 or 4, trying to make the perfect one, they were okay. But the people who did like 30, 40, 50 pots, they were able to work so much and learn from every time that they did it, that theirs were actually better at the end of the day. So if you don't strive for perfection, you don't strive for the perfect piece, you just do something, make it better each time, keep doing it.
Yeah.
So that like the more you do, the better you'll get. You'll learn something from every piece. You say, this works, this doesn't work. I like this, I could have done this.
I guess it's the tip for anything you want to do in your life, right? Like, work hard and just keep going.
Yeah, the more you do, just put it out there. Just keep trying. Like, don't be too much of a perfectionist. Don't be too self-critical. Like, be self-evaluative. Like, definitely keep yourself like, is this okay? Is this a good standard?
Yeah.
But don't let that ever handicap you, hinder you, stop you from making something. Stop you from believing in yourself.
Okay. Now we're gonna have a challenge. Okay, so you're gonna tell me about who inspires you as an artist, and you're gonna tell me their names, and I'm gonna ask you a couple questions about those artists and see if you really know them.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
So make sure you get like a good one.
Well,
Somebody
I'll be
gave
honest,
you the tip.
I would pick Jean-Michel Basquiat. So you
John,
can, John, Jean dash
I'm so
Michel, and then the last name is Basquiat, I think. So at least I know how to spell his name. That's one thing that I know.
That's good. Okay. So where is he's from?
Give me some more tea. But he's from Haiti. He's from Haiti.
Haiti.
Haitian American.
But here they say like he's from French.
Well, he's got a French language, but it's a Haitian American. His parents might have been.
Oh
French,
yeah,
but
he's American.
He's an American, but his parents are from Haiti, I think.
Oh, he's kind of has like your style.
Yeah,
I mean, you have his style.
I have his style. Yeah, he's one of my major
Nice.
role models. I love his work. It's amazing.
Let me see something about him.
I didn't know there was gonna be a quiz in this. You didn't tell me this part.
It's a challenge.
The challenge is make a fool or make a hero out of Tim Aanensen. Jeez. I can tell you while you're looking up information, when I went to Sao Paulo in 2018 for a month with Fernanda, we saw a Jean-Michel Basquiat exhibit at the Centro de Arts in Sao Paulo with I don't know, like 30, 40, 50 of his fine art paintings. It was the best exhibit I've ever seen of him,
So
and it was in Brazil.
how many drawings does he have?
How many drawings does he have?
That's a good question, right?
Drawings or paintings?
Drawings. But you can say pens, because it's two different numbers.
Oh, jeez.
Can you give me like one of them?
I would say like 600 paintings.
Oh my god, he really knows him.
No.
Yeah, it's 600.
Really?
Yes.
That's lucky. That's just pure luck right there.
Alright.
Are you kidding just to make this a
No,
good video?
it is like 600.
Oh my gosh.
He was a fine artist, but he was something else as well.
He used words. He used words in his fine art.
And what does that mean?
He is a mural, a spray paint
No,
artist.
Fernanda's over there like giving
Like a mural artist? Like
no,
a
he
graffiti
was
artist?
a poet.
A poet. That's what I was going to say.
See, you should listen to yourself. But it was a lot of fun, and thank you so much for being my show. I had so much fun, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
I love you, Ju.
I love you too.
Follow Ju. She's awesome, guys.
Follow him. I'm gonna leave his like Instagram, all this stuff like from his page and stuff like that. He has so many, and we're gonna stay here, drink some tea, cause he's drinking, and you guys keep watching my videos from my show. Okay? Ciao.
Ciao.
Have a good day.
Prazer.